Hello everyone. Have you ever wondered how an ordinary-looking talisman can radically change your life and help you achieve financial and spiritual success? That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. In this video, I'm going to tell you about the most amazing amulets and charms used in Buddhist and other cultures to attract well-being and protect against negative energies. And believe me, you'll be surprised at how powerful this hidden magic can be. Be sure to watch this video all the way to the end, because at the end, I'll share a few secrets that will help you choose the right talisman for your specific situation. Don't forget to leave a like, post any comment, even if it's just an emoji, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any new releases. Now let's dive into the world of the mysterious power of amulets and charms. Amulets and charms are not just pretty jewelry or rare items from distant lands. They represent a symbolic support for humans throughout all ages, be it ancient times or the modern era. Since long ago, people have been looking for ways to protect themselves from misfortune and attract good luck, using the forces of nature, prayers, rituals, magical symbols, and astonishing objects believed to hold special energy. In the Buddhist tradition, one of the most revered charms is a prayer bracelet or mala beads, which not only help in spiritual practice but, according to many believers, activate the energy of good fortune in worldly matters, weaving harmony and well-being into a person's life. But Buddhism is just one of the many traditions where invaluable knowledge of amulets can be found. In Tibet, for example, it's believed that mantras inscribed on stone or paper gain a special power capable of protecting their owner from illnesses, evil spirits, and bad luck. The tradition of carrying such sacred texts or images goes back to ancient times. There in the Tibetan region, people also practice creating Tibetan knots, intricate weavings of threads sometimes combined with semi-precious stones, symbolizing the infinity of being and guarding the owner on their life path. It's believed that when you weave your sincere intention into the knot, you are programming the space around you for positivity and good fortune. Looking more broadly, many Asian countries believe that having the right amulet enhances one's inner potential. In some Hong Kong shops, you can buy small statues of Hotei, the laughing Buddha, which people place on their desks to attract material prosperity. Meanwhile, in Nepal or Bhutan, store displays are filled with bells, symbolizing the cleansing of a space and the strengthening of spiritual intent. Every place has its own special energy, but they all share one thing: the belief that our world is multi-layered and that it's truly possible to find sources of power that aren't visible at first glance. There are many intriguing stories related to Japanese culture as well. In the land of the rising sun, omamori, small colored cloth pouches containing paper or wood inscribed with prayers, are especially popular. Omamori are meant to provide protection, success in studies, work, love, or business. Each category comes with specific well wishes, and people firmly believe that carrying such a pouch grants them invisible support from divine forces. Some keep their omamori for decades, as these pouches become symbols of belief in a better future. However, amulets aren't restricted to purely religious origins. In various cultures, you can find talismans inherited from ancient times when people lived closer to nature. For instance, Slavic charms made from wood, linen, metal, or embroidered patterns carry the symbolism of the sun, earth, fertility, and family happiness. In Celtic, Scandinavian, and Old Germanic traditions, runes and special signs are still used today, believed to bind a person to the power of the earth and give them resilience against life's hardships. Many artisans worldwide continue crafting such items, embedding unique symbols thought to awaken one's inner resources of luck and prosperity. Returning to Buddhist teachings, we should mention specific mantras recited in a certain sequence. They can be engraved on amulets or chanted during practice. The most famous mantra is Om Mani Padme Hum. It's often inscribed on bracelets or temple walls so that everyone who comes can touch the power of compassion and wisdom, invoking the merciful Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara. There's a belief that wearing an item engraved with sacred syllables allows you to take on some of the blessing contained in these words. Some people say that when they touch these carvings, they feel a pleasant wave of warmth and inspiration in their body. Of course, in today's world, where an increasing number of people rely on science and logic, it's not uncommon to hear, "It's all superstition. How can some bracelet affect my life?" But even if we dismiss any mysticism and imagine a talisman as merely a reminder of positive intentions, it can still work as a psychological anchor, setting us up for success. We often underestimate the power of belief. When we believe that we're touching something divine or imbued with special energy, we boost our confidence and motivate ourselves to take the right actions that lead us to our desired results. In this sense, psychologists highlight that an amulet or charm can serve as a kind of symbol of progress. Each time someone looks at their bracelet, pendant, or knot, they remember their goals, dreams, and intentions. It effectively feeds them reassurance that they're on the right path, and that assurance is closely tied to performance in every aspect of life, whether in a career, finances, or personal relationships. And if a particular amulet's energy helps you, why not use it even more, following the traditions and knowledge passed down through millennia? Take, for example, a person who has long dreamed of quitting their job to start their own business, but is afraid to make the first move. They acquire a talisman inspired by Buddhist symbolism. Let's say a small pendant with the image of the Buddha. Every morning, as they put on this pendant, they silently tell themselves, "Today, I'll take a small step toward my dream, and I will succeed." This internal dialogue creates a powerful wave of self-belief. Day by day, such support can strengthen resolve, dispel doubts, and ultimately spur real action. The same effect can be seen in those using Slavic charms. A young woman who wants to build harmonious relationships might wear a charm in the form of an embroidered ribbon featuring the Tree of Life symbol, which signifies growth and renewal. Looking at this symbol reminds her that relationships require kindness, trust, and sincerity. Gradually, her mindset changes, drawing the right people into her life. In Buddhism, there is the principle of balance and acceptance. People are reminded that any external objects, be they talismans or charms, are merely tools. Their power is revealed only when you invest them with heartfelt faith and good intentions. Conversely, if a person wears dozens of ornaments but remains in a negative state, complains about fate, and doesn't strive for growth, little will change. A charm won't do all the work for you. It simply helps you unlock your own potential. From an energy standpoint, many practices recommend cleansing and charging an amulet before using it. In Buddhist tradition, this might involve repeating mantras or a short meditation, while in Slavic tradition, it could be a ritual involving the four elements: fire, water, air, earth. Some modern interpretations suggest simply holding the amulet in sunlight or rinsing it under running water while thinking about freeing it from all negativity. It might sound fanciful, but many say they feel a special connection to the item afterward, as if it really starts to share a unified life with its owner. Another key point is choosing an amulet. In Buddhist culture, there's no concept of one talisman for everyone. Each person selects what resonates with their soul. what aligns with their inner feelings. Some like a mantra engraved on metal, others prefer a weightless ribbon, while others might choose a carved wooden pendant portraying deities. The main thing is that the object evokes a warm, inspiring sensation and is associated with your aspirations. If you're acquiring an amulet for protection, think about safety and tranquility. If it's for finances, visualize abundance and opportunities. If it's for love, channel a ray of heartfelt warmth and gratitude into your talisman. It's also worth noting that an amulet is part of cultural heritage. When you buy an item from another country or tradition, respect its origins and meaning. It's wonderful to realize you're connecting with centuries of wisdom that may have helped many find their path to happiness. Thus, you're not just using magical power, but also immersing yourself in a history full of faith and kindness. This generational bond fills the heart with gratitude and motivates living with open eyes and an open heart. Sure, some might think this is outdated in modern times, but we humans are made not only of logic, but also of feelings, belief, and emotion. And if millions of people around the world still turn to amulets and derive benefit, be it psychological, energetic, or mystical, why not give it a try? When you see someone wearing an amulet, consider this. It might be more than just jewelry. It could be a piece of personal history. Maybe that item helped them find love or climb out of financial trouble at some point. Maybe inside the pendant, there's a photo of a loved one or lines from a holy book that supported them for years. And isn't it truly wonderful to know that within such simple objects, there can exist an entire universe for someone's heart? Buddhist teachings often emphasize that for an amulet's power to grow, one should do good deeds, cultivate compassion, and genuinely want to help others. The energy flow carried by a charm multiplies when a person themselves becomes a source of kindness and harmony. Then it's not just about multiplying personal blessings, but expanding the circle of positive influence. You effectively create an invisible chain reaction. Your amulet, your kindness, the energy of the surrounding world. And it all interacts, forming a spiral of increasing well-being. It's also said that amulets can help with inner transformation, reminding us of the need for spiritual growth. For instance, if you have a bracelet adorned with lotus symbols, you might associate it with the idea of prospering through adversity, much like how a lotus blooms in murky water. When times are tough, you look at the bracelet and remember, a lotus grows in darkness and mud, yet becomes a beautiful flower. So I too can overcome my trials while maintaining the beauty of my soul. In this light, we can say that amulets are like cheat sheets for the soul. We live in a fast-paced world and sometimes forget our true potential, get stuck in problems, and sink into stress. Having a special object by our side can be the reminder we need. Wait, don't give up. There's a great strength within you, and that truly inspires change. However, don't forget individual preferences. If you feel no connection to Buddhist symbolism, you could explore other cultures. Egyptian amulets, the Ankh, symbolizing eternal life and rebirth. Celtic, the Triketra, representing the unity of body, mind, and soul. Hindu, Ganesha, who removes obstacles, and so on. Each tradition is a universe of images, which might resonate with you personally. Maybe you'll feel a special thrill at the sight of a particular symbol. If so, that's your path. It's also important to consider your social circle. If your family or friends smile and say, "Why do you need this?" Don't be ridiculous. Try not to take offense. Instead, share interesting facts about amulets with them. Show them that these items have cultural value and profound philosophy behind them. Maybe their skepticism simply stems from a lack of information or a difficult past experience. And you, inspired by Buddhist teachings or another ancient tradition, can give them something to think about and offer a living example of faith that can change lives for the better. Overall, discussing amulets and charms touches on a vast layer of human culture, where spiritual quests and practical solutions meet. For centuries, people have believed that the world has hidden aspects that can respond to our intentions. You only need to tune in to the right wavelength, and you might sense that the universe is helping you, opening the right doors, sending the right connections and ideas. And amulets and charms serve as a bridge between the visible and the invisible, between our desire and its real manifestation. For some, an amulet becomes a symbol of hope when all other paths seem bleak. For others, it's a reminder of a mentor or a loved one who once offered crucial guidance. For someone else, it's a motivation to continue self-improvement. And if, as a result, a person becomes kinder, more goal-oriented, and more determined, perhaps it doesn't really matter whether these things contain real magic or just function as a psychological tool. The main thing is that they help us become better and thus fulfill their mission. It's also noteworthy that in modern society, we increasingly talk about personal boundaries and how important it is to have support, both external and internal. An amulet can serve as personal armor when you feel pressure or face unexpected challenges. Imagine you have a small carved stone with a symbol you picked out carefully and with meaning. Simply touching it in a difficult moment reminds you, I'm not alone. I have inner strength, and it's with me. Sometimes just that touch can stabilize emotions and restore your sense of control. Speaking of Buddhist tradition, it's especially worth highlighting the idea of compassion and self-improvement. Many amulets are created not just for personal gain, but to promote peace in one's heart and extend it to those around us. It's believed that if a person sincerely wishes happiness to all beings, the universe responds in kind by sending more opportunities, resources, and the right people along the way. There's a certain logic there. The more light we shine, the brighter our path becomes. Finally, each of us can build our own unique story with an amulet. Some people say their talisman accidentally appeared at just the right moment. Maybe it was a gift from a stranger or an old friend who reappeared out of nowhere. Others believe they made a charm themselves and poured so much love and warmth into it that it truly became one of a kind. Still, others regularly change their amulets depending on life's stages. If the focus is on career growth, they choose symbols of fortune's energy. If family comes first, they select charms representing the home and hearth. As you can see, amulets and charms aren't just fairy tales or legends. They're part of a vast realm of traditions and practices that remind us each of us holds enormous potential, sometimes needing only a small external nudge to fully reveal it. Whether it's Buddhist bracelets with mantras, Japanese omamori, Slavic charms, or Celtic knots, they all speak of the same truth, about the power of our inner light, about the power of faith, and about the fact that we're not alone in this world. If such a small object can inspire you, then it's already serving its purpose, helping you move forward. To conclude, it's important to remember that no matter how powerful an amulet is said to be, it can only realize its potential when we ourselves are open to change, when we accept responsibility for our lives and genuinely believe we deserve a better future. If you feel an inner connection, try finding or creating your own charm. Allow yourself a bit of everyday magic and you might sense that the world begins to change along with you. Of course, never forget that true power always comes from your own heart. An amulet is simply a helper, a spark that can ignite within you the flame of faith and inspiration that pushes you forward. May your life be filled with harmony, and may your path bloom with new possibilities. Friends, I sincerely hope this exploration of amulets and charms in Buddhist and other cultures was interesting and inspiring for you. If you'd like to keep delving into the world of hidden symbols and get practical tips for attracting good fortune, be sure to subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, and leave a comment. After all, it's your support that gives me the motivation to produce new materials. And by the way, if we reach 5,000 likes, I'll definitely record a separate video on how to calculate your financial code using numerology and apply that knowledge for success. So it's all up to you. Looking forward to your likes and comments. See you next time.